"Leave the car!" Diane screamed as I pulled out of the driveway. In the rearview mirror, I watched her running after the Porsche in her open-toe sandals, one hand raised like she actually believed she could stop me. My 4-year-old son, Eli, sat quietly in his car seat behind me, holding the stuffed dinosaur he never let go of. Diane believed that Porsche belonged to her son. She believed the house behind her did too. By breakfast the next morning, that entire belief would collapse. 20 minutes earlier, our backyard had been full of folding chairs and paper plates, 40 relatives celebrating my father-in-law Frank's retirement. The party was at our home in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'd spent 2 days preparing for it around my shifts at the hospital. At first, Diane's comments were small enough to ignore. She told Ryan's aunt how proud she was that Ryan gave the family such a beautiful place to gather. Then she mentioned, just loud enough, that my nursing schedule was basically part-time work. When I carried out a bowl of potato salad, she looked at my sundress and asked if Ryan had paid for that too. A few relatives lowered their eyes. Nobody challenged her. Ryan stood at the grill the whole time, pretending to be busy with the burgers. I'd been married to him 5 years. I knew that look on his face. It meant, please let this pass. For 5 years, I mistook his silence for peace. Then Diane crouched next to Eli, smoothed his hair, and said loud enough for the whole yard to hear, "One day, you'll understand that your daddy's the one who gives you this whole life." The yard went still. Even Eli looked confused, glancing between us. I set my glass down. "Diane, please don't say things like that in front of my son." She rose slowly, hand pressed to her chest, like I'd struck her. "After everything this family has done for you, you choose Frank's retirement party to disrespect me? I asked you not to lie to my child." That's when Ryan finally walked away from the grill. Not toward me. Toward her. "Apologize to my mother," he said. "For what?" His jaw tightened. Everyone was watching now. "Apologize or pack your things and get out of my life." Eli was close enough to hear every word. That decided it. "Fine," I said. "I'll go." I carried Eli through the house, grabbed his overnight bag from the closet, and walked out without looking at a single relative. Ryan followed as far as the porch. He didn't stop me. That's when Diane ran after the car, screaming for me to leave it behind. Consequences do not wait for people to be ready for them. Neither did mine. I checked into a Hampton Inn off I-77. I got Eli settled with his dinosaur and a grilled cheese, then texted Ryan the address and offered a video call. Whatever was happening between us, I wasn't going to use our son as a weapon. Ryan never answered. At 8 the next morning, my attorney called him instead, and for the first time in 5 years, Ryan was about to hear the truth without anyone protecting his pride. Her name is Nora Bennett. She didn't threaten him. She simply told him I'd retained counsel regarding a temporary separation, and that neither the house nor the Porsche could be sold, borrowed against, or transferred while ownership records were reviewed. The truth was, those records had never been complicated. My grandmother, Margaret, raised me during the years my own mother was in and out of rehab. When she died, I was 23. She left me her house, paid off, 4 bedrooms, a maple tree that dropped leaves faster than anyone could rake, along with a small piece of land outside Asheville. I sold that land 2 years later and used part of it to buy a certified pre-owned Porsche Cayenne. Safe, practical, big enough for the family I hope to have someday. Both purchases happened before I ever met Ryan. Both were in my name alone. An estate lawyer had told me to keep it that way, and I always did. Ryan moved into that house after we married. At first, letting his family believe otherwise felt almost harmless. I should have insisted on the truth then. Instead, I let the moment pass and told myself a strong marriage didn't need public credit. What I didn't understand yet was that Ryan wasn't protecting his mother from embarrassment. He was building an image of himself out of things that belonged to me. 15 minutes after Nora hung up with him, Ryan called me. He didn't ask about Eli. "What did you tell your lawyer?" "The truth," I said. "Now, I want you to try it." It came out in pieces. Diane had spent years comparing him to his older brother, Mark, a dentist with a lake house and a boat. So one Sunday, when Diane admired our home, Ryan told her he'd bought it before our wedding. Later, he told the family the Cayenne was his anniversary gift to me. I sat on the edge of that hotel bed, watching Eli stack plastic cups on the carpet, and understood something I hadn't let myself see before. This wasn't a misunderstanding I'd failed to correct. My husband had built a version of himself out of my inheritance, and let his own family treat me like a dependent to make that version believable. There's more, he admitted. That afternoon, Nora and I reviewed 16 months of bank statements. Buried near the bottom were small transfers, 300 here, 800 there, labeled repairs, help, dad. Nearly $10,000 quietly moved from our joint savings to Ryan's parents. I had never approved a single one. They were struggling after Frank retired, he said. You could have asked me. I knew what you'd say. He hadn't forgotten to tell me. He had decided my answer didn't matter. I didn't drain the account in anger. I moved my paycheck into a new one, turned on alerts, and let Nora handle the rest. Then I sent Ryan a proposed parenting schedule, because whatever happened to us, Eli's routine wasn't going to become collateral damage. Diane told the family I was stealing Ryan's house using lawyers and connections. One cousin actually texted asking if I'd really stolen his car. For one angry minute, I wanted to post the deed, the title, every bank transfer, and let everyone see exactly who had lied. But public humiliation had helped create this mess. I wasn't going to pick up the same weapon and call it justice. Frank was the first one to question the story. He called that night, sounding older than he had at his own retirement party, and asked for a meeting. We met the following Tuesday in a counselor's office his church recommended. Plain room. 4 chairs, a box of tissues, no family photos on the walls for anyone to claim as territory. Diane walked in already accusing me of using Eli as leverage. I said nothing. I slid the deed and the title across the table. Ryan stared at his hands for a long moment. Then he told them everything. The house, the anniversary gift, the transfers. Diane's face changed, but he kept going. He admitted he'd let her humiliate me because correcting her would have exposed him. For once, nobody rushed to fill the silence. Her first apology was defensive. I'm sorry if you misunderstood what I meant. I didn't misunderstand you, I said. You said exactly what you meant, and my son heard it. An apology names what you did. It doesn't question how I heard it. If you've ever swallowed your voice just to keep a room calm, you already know why this story matters to me. Stick with me, because it isn't over yet. And if it's hitting home, share it and subscribe, because what happens next is the part I never saw coming either. Ryan moved into a rental that week. He started counseling, he signed a repayment plan for every dollar he'd taken, documented and dated. When Diane showed up unannounced demanding to see Eli, Ryan, for the first time in 5 years, stepped between his mother and my door. You don't enter Lily's home unless she invites you. That night, Diane's voicemail didn't start with if. I humiliated you in front of your son, she said. I screamed at you over a car that was never his. You don't owe me forgiveness. I just needed to say that clearly. Consequences don't stop hurting just because they're deserved. And an apology doesn't undo what a 4-year-old heard in a backyard. We agreed to 90 days of counseling, not to rush Ryan home, but to find out if trust was something that could actually be rebuilt, or just something people say to feel better. 6 months later, at Eli's 4th birthday, Ryan's sister made a joke about me winning the whole property war. Ryan set the knife down. There was no war, he said, in front of everyone who'd once believed the lie. The house and the car were always Lily's. I lied and she paid the price for it. That minute mattered more than every private apology he'd given me. He defended the truth when it cost him comfort, in front of an audience, not just in private where it was easy. We signed a postnuptial agreement. The house and the Porsche stayed mine, not as a punishment, but as a fact that had always been true. Everything else, the transparency, the shared accounts, the daily honesty, became something we built together, in writing, on purpose. 1 year after that retirement party, we stood in the same backyard. No speeches about who owned what, just grilled chicken, Eli chasing bubbles with his grandfather, and Ryan standing beside me while our son carried napkins to the table. He didn't call the house his, or mine, or ours. He just said, "I'm grateful to be home." This time, the word home sounded like responsibility, not ownership. My real victory was never the deed or the car. It was refusing to teach my son that keeping a family together means one person has to swallow her voice and call it peace.